and definitely not from your side. And it comes very natural. Do you think one can have this attitude naturally? That, you know, not to harm, only to be a benefit? For those who don't know me, I usually wait for an answer when I ask questions. Easy questions like this. Yeah. You think we can? Why? How? Already now, you know, not in the future, now. Can we already do this? Do we have beings in our life where very naturally, never ever, there is the slightest wish to harm? Who are those people?
Children.
Huh?
Our children.
Our children.
Our pets.
Okay. So we can see, we can do it. So I don't have children. Some of you might not have children. Look at others. Look at parents. Don't look at yours. It's not working, because your parents, when they are strict with you, then you think, oh, they don't want me to be happy, okay? When you're a child. But now as grown-ups, either you look at yourself when you see your children, or if you don't have children, you look at parents and you check. Are they being strict, or are they being almost wrathful because they want to harm their children, or because they want to protect their children? And even if it's not your own children, you can see this very clearly. Unless the parents are really disturbed and have a lot of suffering and then they harm their children. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about most of the parents. Yeah? So the point is, or the mind of a Buddha is that he has this attitude like a parent for all beings who are his children, not biologically, of course not, but also from the attitude of remembering when he or she, Buddha, both can be Buddhas, were not Buddhas, to understand suffering is no good. There's no point in suffering. That's what Buddhism says. So, you know. And to see that we suffer because we don't understand the cause of suffering. That's why we suffer, because, you know, if I put my hand in a fire and it gets burned, I understand the cause and I withdraw the hand and I never put it there again. But the problem is, when we talk about karma and about our actions, of course it has a immediate something, result, reaction, whatever, but that's not what karma is all about. Karma is just, you know, karma means action. So when we do an action, we're only planting a seed. The result that comes is not from that action, that's from a previous actions. That action, that's what the Buddha explains, but it doesn't look like this. To me, it looks, if I'm kind to you, then you're kind to me, isn't it? Usually it's like this. In Switzerland. I don't know here in Israel. How is it in Israel? Okay, again, for those who don't know me, I'm not making fun of you guys. I do sometimes. But I really like and love to come to Israel, and I like most of the attitudes that Israelis have, not all of them. I defend you. You should hear me in Switzerland when people go on and on and on and on about bad Israelis are, how I defend you guys, which of course you don't hear. So when I make fun of you, it's more, you know, like maybe a mother who makes fun of the child or something like that. So please, don't get upset. If you do, again, my intention is not to make you upset. My intention is more to make you something understand true humor, of course, if it's directed at you. And you're not all Israelis, okay? You are individuals. So anyway, so this is what we think, you know, or this is how it looks sometimes. If I'm kind to somebody, they're kind to me, and that's it. So that must be the result of that action. But if it would be, now we have to apply logic, if it would be a result of that action, it should work all the time. In Switzerland and in Israel and other countries. Does it? It doesn't even work in Switzerland like this. If I'm kind to somebody who dislikes me, oh man, then I really get it. You know, then it's like, no, I don't like it. What are you doing? You're getting involved in something. It's none of your business. You're a control freak, blah, blah, blah. This is the reaction that we get sometimes when we want to be kind, isn't it? So you have to be careful with what kind of kindness you are applying. And being kind just doesn't mean action, by the way. Being kind means you have kind attitudes. The attitude of not wanting, the attitude of whatever you do to this person, whether it's leaving the person alone, going away, or whether staying there and assisting them, or just chatting with them, or going to the beach with them, or whatever, the attitude is that it's of benefit to them. Not for you to have fun, but it will be of benefit to them. Sounds very boring, doesn't it? All the actions I have to do is not for my pleasure, but so it's for their benefit. It sounds so... German word is fad. What is it? Tasteless. So do you want to develop that attitude? Huh? What do you think? What happened when you had, we did a reflection on this. I want to learn about purification practices, so whatever I do will be of benefit to others.
Maybe I would say that you said that it is a bit like tasteless, this attitude of like only wanting to benefit the other.
Yeah.
And I mean, at first I understood, what the tasteless that you meant, but then I thought that actually, if we are only like interested in what we have and what we think, then it's like a bit more of the same. And so there's actually a lot of like interest and taste in being in a connection with another person.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, actually, I mean, not wanting to benefit, that is the tasteless option.
Exactly. So again, thank you very much. So again, we can take the children. Maybe you're not having fun. I mean, how many hours did you play with your kids? Games that you would never play on your own. More or less. How many hours? Countless. Your grandchildren, okay? Like, Shuki is going to be a granddad this afternoon because his son needs him. So his grandchildren. So, is it tasteless to see kids having fun when you play with them? So imagine, meeting others will be like meeting your own children. How can that be tasteless? It's not like, wow, it's not like this, You're not coming, next time we see each other, you're not going to say, oh, wow, it's such a great afternoon with my grandchildren. No, it's like, it's natural, effortless, continuous. That's the mind of a Buddha. And this is what we want to produce here. Why we also need to become Buddhas, because, when we do this kind of purification practices, we always think about the deity. When I say deity, it's not an omnipotent God, okay? Whether such a God exists or not, I don't know. I don't know. Do I believe in it? I don't know. It's like, I don't want to negate it, that it doesn't exist, and I don't want to use arguments, why doesn't he do something, and help, I just don't know. This is very personal. This is a very personal question that you have to find out yourself. Is such a being existing or not? I think it was Geshe-ma who said, when she was translating, it's a shame you don't speak German, because Geshe-ma comes to Israel, all the teachings of the Dalai Lama she translates simultaneously in German. She does an amazing job, I tell you, better than Tenzin Zepak. Because she really translates everything, even if he says, where's my cup? All the jokes, all the little remarks, everything, and so accurate. So anyway, so she says, so you have to learn German to be able to benefit from that. So she says, the only thing that is omnipotent is karma. Not even a Buddha, she took the example of a Buddha. Not even a Buddha can overrule karma, the law of cause and effect. Not even a Buddha can go against natural laws like gravity, for example. That was very I thought, like, wow, yeah, this is amazing. So there is something that is omnipotent. If you want to believe in something omnipotent, it's karma. It's your own behavior and actions in this world. Okay. So when we do these kind of tantric practices, then we always think about the form that we visualize, like this Shakyamuni Buddha, but then there's other Buddhas who have their speciality, like, playing different roles, same as we do. As a person, you can be a mom, a dad, a grandfather, a son, an employer, an employee, a friend, an enemy, whatever. So Vajrasattva, which we use for purification, that one is the one for purification. We could use any other ones, but they also made, on their way to training as ordinary beings, they made some promises. Promises, not just, I promise this, and then it happened. But promises, I trained to be able to do that. So he said, I'll be the one, being the most effective in purification practice. So like this. But we always mix that deity, so it's not something exotic out there, but who the heck knows what that is, with our, shall I use the word, what word shall I use? Lama, Guru, Master, Teacher, Guide. I never used it before, but because none of it, Guru is not good, Lama is not clear, Teacher, Master, who wants to have a master? Thank you very much. But a guide.
Kind one.
A guide.
Kind one.
Yeah, definitely. But let's first define the role and then the attitudes. So a guide, would you like to have a guide to peerless happiness, free from suffering and causes of suffering? Okay. So many of you, not the others, try to find out what you want. Self-dependent, independent. No, I'm going to do it on my own. Yeah, you have all the rights to do that. It's okay, but why not follow a guide who knows? So in order for you to know whether that guide knows, not to follow blindly, so I'm talking about Guru, Lama, yeah, right? You probably know the word Guru. It's a very important person in your life. So it's not me, I'm not a guru, okay? I don't have realization. So don't, I can tell you what the gurus say. Because, now, why we have to become gurus, lamas, not to guide people, not to that, but why we have to become a Buddha, because we need to be able to inspire people. And I tell you, if I look at my own mind, at my own being, at my own attitudes, if that person who inspired me to do these kind of things and wear these kind of clothes and to sit in front of people and give talks, if that person is not enlightened, an ordinary being would not have been able to do that. So that's why. And we need to know how to, what to tell them and what to, without having to think. We need to develop this, no, we don't need to develop, we need to discover that apparently instinct to do the right thing at the right time, to say the right thing at the right time. A parent, when is a parent able to do that? Oh, I don't hear on my left ear, okay? I'm getting older and older, it's getting worse and worse. So if you say something, you have to say loud and clear. Who said something? Because I don't even know where the sound comes from. Tell.
I was asking if you ask when.
When are you best able to respond to your children that is of benefit to them in a beneficial way?
When you're relaxed, when you're self-confident.
When you're relaxed and well and not stressed, because sometimes we're also not saying the right things, even though the attitude is there to say the right things. But when we're stressed and they don't want, they're not doing what we want them to do, and the neighbor is kind of knocking on the wall because they're making too much noise if you live in an apartment house or thing like that, then we're also screaming, and not just out of kindness, by the way. Yeah. So this is why we have to develop our mind to be able to inspire people and to have the capacity to guide them to the same state, to the state which is free from suffering and causes of suffering. Of course, already now we can do a few things, but how many times do people really listen and put into practice what we're telling them? Somebody is unhappy, somebody is depressed, they can't complain. We have a basket full of good advice what they could do so that immediately they're free of depression. Does it work? No. Okay. So for those people who practice since a while, because I need some témoin, témoin. I need some, how to say, gosh, I don't find words anymore, I used to speak English really well. I need some,
Evidence?
somebody who would, Evidence, no, some people who are giving evidence. How do you call those in English?
Witnesses.
Role model.
Witnesses, thank you very much. Gosh, this is what I'm saying, I don't want to teach anymore, it's like, and I'm serious, I didn't know the word witness. Maybe I'm getting Alzheimer's and all this, but if I do, so what? I'm not the only one. I don't do it on purpose, and what can I do? I mean, I can be stressed about it, or just relax and say, well, at least I still have people who tell me the words. I still can give another word so they know what I try to say. So witnesses. So I need some witnesses. If your guru tells you what to do you do it? No. Needs only shaking his head. I'm shocked. No, because I also don't. But if I do,
It depends on what he's asking you to do, he or she.
if I do, does it work or does it not work? It works. If I do, it works. And this is where the trust comes from. This is what I'm saying. Don't just accept anybody. It needs to be somebody that inspires you, that is true. Once you know the teachings of the Buddha really well, it doesn't. The person who's sitting here doesn't need to inspire you. They just need to know Buddhism really well. But at the beginning, this is why people think, but can you be my guru and this? Not because I'm funny, I make you laugh and all this. That's not enough. So please don't ask me to be your guru, and don't think, okay, she says no, but secretly I take her as my guru. Don't do that. You'll be definitely very disappointed. But then go on and look for a guru, for somebody who can guide you, and for somebody that, not like Tal says, it depends what he says. This is not. That you kind of, if you don't want to do what this person says, you go and talk about it and explain why. You're totally open. You lay bare all your shortcomings and mistakes, and you're not going there because they're very busy. You're not going there kind of having interviews and then you tell them all the things you can do and you did. No, they're not interested in that. They're interested in things that you have problems with, that you are stuck, or that you were too lazy to do. For that you need a lot of courage, because we want to be loved, we want to be accepted. So for that we need to prove to the guru that we're worthy to be disciples. It's not like that. So like this. You don't have to prove anything to your mom and to your dad. They're happy when you're happy. And they're happy when you put the instructions that they have found out through experience that behaving like this is not helping. They're doing that, and so if they say this and you put it into practice, then it will work. So it's the same, But we shouldn't be like children, just saying, "Oh, I do whatever mom says. If it suits me, I do. If it doesn't suit me, then I don't." Yeah. But you can talk about it.
That's what I meant. You have to check out, because if it looks really weird, you have to look into it. Don't just go.
I'm talking about personal instructions, okay? I'm not talking about general stuff. Because the Buddha gave 84,000 teachings. Because why? Because we have different attitudes, different capacities, and all this. So don't apply it like, you spread butter on your bread and say, okay, the Buddha says. No. The Buddha also said, he said many things. One of those things, don't believe anything that I'm saying, but he didn't stop there, so, because now then you can go home. He said, take it, check it first. Is it logic? Is it sensible? Does it apply to you? But long term and not short term. And Geshe Tashi, he just gave he gave teaching last Sunday, because now he's teaching sutras, which is very nice. So there's a sutra which is called Enlightenment, like how the Buddha says why he is enlightened, or who is enlightened, or what enlightenment is. I don't know if I remember everything totally, but it's like enlightenment is when you understand the gratitude in samsara. Meaning, yes, there are good things in samsara, that is true, but they're impermanent. This is why, this is why I said this morning, when we rejoice so much that my life is going so well at the moment, we have to remember, okay, it's impermanent. And it doesn't spoil your fun, but it actually makes you appreciate it more. Because then you do something useful with it and you're not wasting it. But you see, again, when I say useful, then in our mind comes up, again she means work, and sitting down and studying Dharma and endlessly listening to Dharma talks. No, I don't mean that. I mean you're not creating negative karma, that's what I mean. Then already your life is very useful. You say no to habits, attitudes that we have, that you know exactly when you're in a calm state, it's not getting me anywhere. And it's difficult to break these habits, right? So that's what I mean. So when we know that good periods and good times in our life are impermanent, we start to really use it joyfully to say, oh no, I got a good tool to quicker come to that state which is free from suffering and causes of suffering, because that's what we want. So sometimes it can sound quite harsh, and the methods and all this, because we're not used to these things, are strange, exotic, like saying mantras, having light coming into you, flushing out all the negativities. As I said, think about our own negativities and all that. What is that going to help? It makes me feel bad, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it seems strange, but this is what Buddhism is all about also. It's not a belief system, just blind belief. It's not a devotion system, although it looks like that, because I didn't do prostration this one, because I thought, I don't know. Looking at these people, can I not? Will they be shocked? So I just offered a kata. I put this white scarf. Not because there is no white scarf. I was actually quite happy that there was no white scarf, so I could put one. And usually one puts it on the top, but I'm not going to ask for a ladder. It's the attitude. It's kind of looking at the Buddha, being happy that I was inspired to do these things, which I don't mean because I'm inspired, you have to be inspired, you have to check up. So that I'm really grateful to Buddhism, that I was attracted by it, and I was already 40 when I started to practice. And that and well, it's true, with all the problems I have with mind and brain and body and this and that, and no electricity in the winter. Already now Swiss people are going, thinking that they can't heat this winter. Well, maybe we can't. We'll see, we'll have to see. It's like so much fear at the moment of lack, with all the things we still have. Maybe this is another thing. I see that somebody else has the same cup as I have.
Yes.
Did you bring it?
Yeah, from Nepal.
I would really encourage everybody, buy your own cup. And please, when you come to events like this, stop using these paper cups. Stop using plastic. Stop using this and that, Become independent. So thank you. See, this is another thing. Sometimes you get so discouraged I think, what's the point of doing this now? I tell you, about 30, 40 years ago, I used to have a restaurant. I became a vegetarian, and all the customers said, "You're crazy, blah, blah, this and that." So I said, "Yeah, okay, but I do it for the animals. So I don't want to eat animals who grow up in these factories and stuff like that. I want this suffering not stop. I mean, I don't want to be part of this." This was 40 years ago. And so I said, okay, 1 day a month, no meat. And they complained and this and that, but I did it, and it worked. They didn't come that day, and they went to eat somewhere else. I read in the newspaper before I came here, this Sunday in Switzerland is the National Vegetarian Day. Most of the restaurants are not going to serve meat. Just 1 day in a year. Okay. So I thought, wow, I was really happy. And I didn't go, "Oh, it's my idea, they stole it from me, blah, blah, blah." I was just happy. But something I started, and it's not, they didn't know me, but something that I thought already 40 years ago, it's a good thing, and I continue to live it. It now becomes, and before I came here, the day before the flight, we had a class reunion. Also, 40 years ago, I was the only one, said, "Can I have something without meat?" Now there's more than half, maybe 80% took the dish without meat. So, if we have ideals and values, and if you start to lift them, like bringing your own cup, or at least when you have a paper cup out there, if you're still here in the afternoon, use the same one. So at least use it twice. And if you do this very consciously, and thinking, "I'm keeping my cup, I use it twice," this creates good karma. So that's as easy as that, is to create good karma. If you do it mindlessly, there's no good karma created. Karma is only created when there's an attitude behind. Okay? So this is, and then we think, and then don't look at others who they drink, boom, throw away, take another one, throw away, and get angry. They're not as advanced as you are. What can we do? Yeah? But we can still give our share. Is that okay a little bit? You can be prepared. I will talk more about this every time we meet. Because we are destroying the planet. And we're taking far too much. So instead of being afraid that, maybe this product is not available and that one, start to reduce already now. Then there's no lack. When they say Switzerland, we might have electricity cuts. Me, totally without any compassion for the people who are afraid, I said, so what? I used to live in India. I mean, come on, we have electricity cuts for days sometimes. Of course, that's talking as an individual. I see the problems that it will create for shops, businesses, and all this, because they're all totally depending on that. But most of the people are afraid. They're not afraid because of the shops. They're afraid because of themselves. I will be lacking this and this and this. You as an individual, come on, if you don't have a shop, it's absolutely not a problem. If you're cold, you go to bed with a warm sleeping bag and a hot water bottle. If you can make hot water, maybe. And if they will have cuts, it will be a few hours a day, maybe. Not like days. Maybe. We'll see. We will see. But humankind is very, they have found solutions, very often the wrong ones, short-term solutions, unfortunately, not long-term ones, for many things. So I don't think we have to be so worried and so afraid. Okay, so talking about karma, if you want to purify, you need to have a belief, because that's one of the things. When I say Buddhism is not a belief system, not a devotion system, but an experience system, you have to experience to see whether it works or not, so you have to try it out. That's what the Buddha said. Don't believe anything what I say, but take it, try it out. See if it's applicable to your life situation also at the moment. Because maybe to your life situation it's applicable that you become a monk or a nun right now. But if you have a six-month-old baby, you cannot do that. You can't leave the children like this. Okay, so this is why there's so many different teachings, so you have to find out what is applicable and what is not. So karma doesn't ripen immediately. That's one thing. When whatever